Tough right now, and if I can contribute in any way, I want to be able to give somebody a skill that they can use to feed themselves and their family. So this video is to teach you how to make sourdough just right there in your home. If anybody needs a sourdough start, please contact me because I will give anybody in the community a start to begin being self-reliant. So enjoy the video. Hi friends. So I'm gonna walk y'all through how to make sourdough bread. I've given a lot of you the recipe, and I thought it might be easiest to just kind of show you how to actually do it. So I'm gonna make bread tonight, so I've got to first wake up the start. So I keep this guy in the fridge all the time, and I feed him once a week. To feed him, I just give him a third of a cup of flour and a third of a cup of water and stir it up. But I've got to wake him up so that he can do his job tonight. So in a separate jar, I use a 1/4 cup of the start, and then a 1/2 cup of the flour, and a 1/2 cup of water. And after doing bread for a while, you'll get a feel of what it should look like when you're doing this. So when you stir it all up, it should look like thick pancake batter is how it looks. So that kind of gives you an idea. So I'll let him just sit on the counter, and throughout the day he'll just start getting bubbles, and tonight he'll be ready to walk you through the rest of the process on how to make bread. So, bye! The start has been waking up all day today. You can see that he's grown and that he's all bubbly. And you can tell when the start is ready and active when you just take a little bit of water, a little bit of start, and he floats in the water like that and says, hey, I'm alive, I'm active, ready to eat. So in here I have 8 1/4 cups of flour, and I use the really good organic ancient grain flour. And then you take 3/4 cup of the start, of the activated start, and dump that in here. And 4 cups of water. Okay, and I fed the start that I had out earlier. I fed him and put him back in the fridge. So you got this all ready, and you just got to mix it up really well. So this does get a little bit messy. So you just take your time.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay. You'll hear my husband in the background. He just...
No, I said 6 o'clock. I said 6 o'clock. You tell him to say that to my face. Yeah, that's right.
Nick can be the entertainment as I do this part.
5:30 is not gonna work.
Nick,
I
stop
don't
it!
care what he said.
Oh my gosh, and there's a cat running around doing things. Okay, so if you can see that it's a little bit more dry than usual, then I'll add a little bit of water. Just a little bit. Because you kind of want this first stir to be a little more wet. And the more that you make the sourdough, the more of a feel you get for what the dough looks like and feels like. So the first stir is pretty sticky. It's pretty sticky and messy. And I will set a timer for 30 minutes. And this will just begin. 30 minutes. And then we'll do the next step. Okay, so after 30 minutes, you take some warm water and add 2 tablespoons of salt. I use Himalayan salt in here. And just stir it up. I use warm water, and then by the time the 30 minutes is up, it's cooled down. But then you just pour it in here with all the salt. The salt will slow the fermentation process, so it'll give it a long, slow ferment. It's what you want. And then you work the water in really well. So this is, we got 2 more like sits and rest stirs after this. It'll make sense once I get going. But so to work the water in the salt can, I just kind of like pull the ends and turn it in like this. And I do that until the majority of it has soaked up into the dough. And then let this sit for another 30 minutes. And you'll see a difference in the next 30 minutes when I come back and start working the dough again. So just let it rest here and we'll work on it again. Okay, so it's been 30 minutes and you always want to get your hand wet first because it doesn't stick to the dough as much. But you get in here and all you do, see if I can do this. Because this is a technique you just want to know when you're turning the bread, because you don't actually need sourdough. You don't need it. You let the sourdough do the work itself. And so you really just turn it 4 times. So we're going to do this twice over the next 30 minutes. I'm going to do it now, 30 minutes, and do it one more time. And then it's going to sit overnight for the bulk rise. But basically it's just grabbing a corner. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you just turn it in on itself like that. So that's all I need to do. It's going through the process. So 30 minutes, we'll do it again. Okay, so here's another turn. Get your hand wet. And just as you turn it, you just do like 4 turns. And that's it. There it is. We'll cover it with a towel and it will sit for the bulk rise for, it's kind of cold right now, so it'll probably be like 10 hours. Usually it's like between 8 to 12 hours, but depending on what the temperature is in the air. So that's it for right now. Good morning. Okay, so look at how much your bread has rose, and you can test if it being ready. I just put like a couple fingers into it, and it doesn't rise back up, so the gluten strands have broken down, and it's ready for the bench rest. So I coat the pan with a little bit of olive oil. And remember, this is just my way of doing it. There's lots of other ways that people do it, but scraper. And pile all the dough up. And then I use this to cut it in half. And then it sits bench rest here for 30 minutes. And then we'll go to the next things. Okay, so it's been 30 minutes and I have my coffee, so I'm doing much better now. All right. They're still bubbling and active, so we're doing good. So the next part, I get a couple pieces of parchment paper, and then I have these bowls right here to rest them in. So you can pretty much do anything, but you do want to have a couple bowls. So this is the part that I wanted to mainly show you guys. Okay. And the way to shape the dough. So it's like you kind of pull and turn it at the same time. And it makes it pretty tight and fold on the seam. And then close it up underneath onto the parchment paper, and then in the bowl. See that? And I'll put the lid on it and let it sit anywhere from, I let it sit for like, you can let it sit for half hour to an hour is usually what I do, but you can let it sit like even an hour and a half. You just want to make sure in that time this is called proofing, and you're pretty much proving that there's still activity and life happening with the dough. And honestly, I don't feel like you can mess this bread up. I overprocess our sourdough quite often, and it's amazing every time. So I'll do it one more time. Like I said, it's kind of a pull and tuck, and it really tightens up the dough and shapes it. Okay. And okay, so these two will sit for, I'll go about a half hour, 45 minutes. And then we'll go to the next spot. Okay. So we've been sitting here for about 30 to 45 minutes, probably like 45 minutes, but I preheated the oven to 475. I use a convection oven, so it drops it down to 450, but 475 is what you should have it at. And you make a couple slices in the bread, however you want. That helps as the bread rises that it splits where you want it to split, not like on the side or anything. And you're gonna get 2 quarter cups of water, okay? And I use Dutch ovens to place it into. Dump the water right on top. Put the lids on, and it bakes for 30 minutes. So we'll take them out after 30 minutes. They'll be so beautiful. Yeah. Okay, it's been 30 minutes, and we'll go ahead and take the bread out. yummy. Not sure how to turn this around. There you go. Delicious. They're perfect. If anybody wants a start or they need a sourdough start, please let me know. Reach out. I would love to contribute that way to anybody. So hopefully this can help in these times right now. Help you make your own bread, which is a great prebiotic and probiotic. So let me know if you have any questions.